Okay, so we're back with our age checker for our page on alcohol, where we need people to be over 21. And we're going to look at a little bit more sophisticated things that we can do with form validation and conditional statements. So right now, our checks are just fine, but we may want to do some additional validation. For example, right now we're checking if their age is greater than or equal to 21. That's good. Or else we'll deal with everything else, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're too young. For example, if I open that page, if I enter hello, I get too young. And that's not really right. So we want to do a little bit more sophisticated checking of our form. There's lots of different ways to do this depending on what we expect people to type in. But let's try to flip this around a little bit. So we want to check if they've actually typed in a number for their age. So we know if this works, that they have typed in a number. But for our else, we could say if age is not a number. How do we do that? Well, there's a function in JavaScript, is NaN, that you give to age. And is NaN not a number? We'll return true or false. So if age is not a number, then we're going to alert, please enter a number, and return false. Otherwise, we'll do what we were doing before. So what we have here are nested conditional statements. Inside the else, we have another if and else. That's totally fine. You can nest them as deeply as you want. So let's take a look at that. If we reload our page here, if we do 20, we get too young. If we do hi, we get please enter a number. And if we do 65, we get you're old enough. And it continues. Okay, so that's one thing that we could do. There's a way that we can flip this around. So I'm going to actually copy and paste all of this and start a new document for us. So you'll be able to see both examples. So here we have the same thing. Now, maybe we don't want to give all of these messages. We just want to tell them that they can go in or not. So if they have not entered a number, or if their age is less than 21, we're going to stop them. Otherwise, we'll let them through. So we still want to get the age, and then we're going to say if age is less than 21, or age is not a number. These two vertical bars, that's the shift of the backslash, means or. So that means either of these things has to be true. They both could be, only one of them could be. This whole statement will be true as long as at least one of these elements are true. And you could string these ors together. You could put more of them on here. There's an alternative to this, which is and. That's two ampersands, and requires both things to be true. That can't happen here. But if we read this, that would say if their age is less than 21 and their age is not a number. So that doesn't make sense. Or does, but it's good to know about the and operator. So if their age is less than 21, or if their age is not a number, we could just alert, you can't proceed. A little bit cryptic message, but it's a good example. And return false. Otherwise, we'll return true, and we don't even have to put out a message. We'll just let them go ahead. All right, so let me save this really quick. And here I have it open in this page. We'll enter the age, something that's not a number. It says you can't proceed. But if I type in 54, I can. Okay, so that's the OR operator. And while we're talking about other operators in the conditional, let's just take a little note down here and let me show you a few others. So we had seen before, and don't write this down, this is just me showing you some examples. We see age less than 21 here. We saw age greater than or equal to 21 before. Obviously, you can say less than or equal to. You can do less than or greater than by themselves. But things that are important that we often want to compare is the equal sign. So if your age equals 21. Now, you might think that it should be like this with a single equal sign, but in JavaScript that sets age equal to 21. If you want to check if age is equal to 21, you have to use two equal signs. You can also check if things are not equal, and then you use the exclamation point, equals. You can use this exclamation point to negate anything in a condition. So for example, we have is not a number of age, and so that will be true if age is not a number, but if you did an exclamation point in front of it, that would negate it. So if age is not a number, this is true, and then this would be false. So that would mean age is a number. That's probably not the clearest case to use it, but sometimes you'll want to. So that exclamation point always negates something. And as we saw, you have the OR operator, which requires just one thing in a list to be true, though more than one can be, and the AND operator, which requires that multiple things in a row are true. Okay, so there you go, a little bit more with conditional operators and how we work with if statements.